April 2nd, 2025. A big day, because today was the day that we crossed the threshold into the next generation of the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2. It was previously acknowledged, but I would say it was fully revealed today in today's Nintendo Direct 2 showcase. AJ, from Watch Redirect on YouTube, what would you say is the highlight? What was the best thing from today's presentation?
The best announcement, again, to me, is probably the Nintendo Switch 2 edition games. It's just the sort of thing that so I think I'm excited.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it yet. Don't even say it. Okay, I want to come back to this. What to me was your low point? I want to establish this middle ground. What's the thing
low point? Yeah. The low point for me, in the same vein, is what we don't know about the Nintendo Switch 2 edition games. Because it could very quickly be a thing where it's like $20 to upgrade Kirby, or not Kirby, Metroid is a good example. $20 to upgrade Metroid, where all we know so far about Metroid is that it's HRD and the frame rate's better. I don't want to pay $20 for that.
And mouse mode.
Mouse mode. That is true. Mouse mode.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? Do I want to pay $20 for mouse mode? I don't think so.
Okay, I hear you. All right. So, I think at the end of the day, I have been digesting. I have not arrived at the middle ground yet. I'm hoping by the end of this conversation with you, I do arrive at the middle ground. But for me, I think that the highlight had to be that for lack of a better term, specs, that we don't have those, but the performance capability of the Nintendo Switch 2 far exceeded my expectations. The fact that they said 4K, 120 frames per second, I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, so it's all on the table. We can do it. If you see a game out in the world now, you could probably make it happen on Nintendo Switch 2. All right. Well, with that kind of introduction out of the way, I was hoping to kind of go with you line by line on some of these items from this presentation. And I want to start with every time I ask you about one of these topics, I want a numbered score out of 10, and I want and I want that number to represent how titillated this part of the presentation made you.
How exact do I need to be with this number? Can I give you percentage?
As exacting as you need to be with your titillation score, as I will allow. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. We open the presentation. Mario Kart World. Out of 10.
9.65.
Oh, no, my God. Okay.
9.65.
Right. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the content king of Mario Kart.
Hate it. What? Hate it. I hate Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with my very being. I have been begging people to stop purchasing this video game for the better part of a decade. I'm sick of it.
Wii U slop. Slop. These people, their standards are on the floor. Oh, I'm drifting. Oh, look, I'm doing the same thing. I'm with you. What about Mario Kart World lit you up though? That gave it that high rating.
I think it was on the level of, it did more than what I expected. Because for me, my expectation, I think, unlike a lot of people, was that they did what I thought that they were going to do. Because I go into these kind of presentations with, I can show you my bingo card if you want to put it on screen and post. But my expectations were through the roof from get. Okay. So I wanted them to at least meet that, because to me that wasn't unreasonable. The fact that they did more than what I expected with Mario Kart, because I thought that the gimmick would be it's more players. Maybe more online modes. Maybe they do open world kind of stuff. But the fact that there's more to it than even just that, really excited me, because I didn't need them to do much more than that.
Of course, because they've proven success. They know what we like. We like more racers. We like more tracks. And they said, what if we redefine what a track is? And I know for me, so much of it is, man, when you see that car flip onto that rail and start grinding it, when you see the car doing the wall running type thing, it's like, man, what's possible in this game is really exciting. And I think what's crazy about this trailer is you see all of these characters, all of these costumes, all of this stuff that gets your creativity going. And I cannot escape the feeling that they are hiding so much in this game still.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Like, what is going on in that open world? I have no idea.
And I think the thing that's even crazier about it is thinking about it in hindsight, like looking at Mario Kart in hindsight, what it became on Switch. Because Mario Kart World, I think there's no universe where it is what it will be when we get it at the end of this console's life.
I agree with you. I think we both kind of see a live service-esque, a living future for this game. And something that really excited me in that trailer is that they talk at one point, it's fast, they mention the dynamic weather. And I'm like, and day-night cycles and stuff like that.
They
can go into this game and they can make anything happen in the world. Events. You go to this location. Somebody's hiding out in the world. You could do a Roman Suicune is out there that you got to go find. You know what I mean? Like, I think we all had a version of Mario Kart in our heads that we could imagine. And I think this creates a world where it's like, oh man, there are possibilities for things that Mario Kart has never done all of a sudden. Who will you main in Mario Kart World?
See, I feel like I'm a weirdo with Mario Kart because this is the antithesis of how I feel about like Smash Brothers. Mario Kart, I just play my me. Because like with Smash Brothers, I feel like I'm playing a character. With Mario Kart, I don't really feel like I'm playing a character.
Oh, you're me?
Yeah, because they all feel the same to me. It's like all the characters are the same. So
but they got weirdos in this one. You could be the cow. You could be the little snowman. You could be the dolphin.
See, but I'm just talking about how I usually play Mario Kart.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I will pick the cow.
Okay.
Who knows?
All right.
Maybe I will pick the cow.
I'm hoping Guigi makes his way.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
that would be
Guigi. Because now, listen, I saw that dumbass dolphins in the game. I'm like, all right. If the dolphin can be in the game,
if the dolphin can come in here,
Guigi can be in the game. All right. So the next part of this direct is that we start talking about the console a little bit, but specifically, we go in a pretty long video discussing the C button, and the C button all about voice chat, all about communication.
It's C for chat.
C for chat.
Who guessed that, man? Who guessed C for chat?
I think I got that one actually. But the out of your titillation score out of 10 for the chat portion of the direct. Yes, you have to be fair. You have to explore the range. Yes,
it's a 7.
A 7. Wow. Okay. Still, so not.
It's positive.
It's positive.
But I'm not. Because there's a lot of questions. It's a 7. There's a potential for it to go up a lot. But I have a lot of questions.
What are your?
There might even be different questions than I think a lot of the internet.
Give me a question. Give me a question.
My question is how controllable is this? Do I need to hear small children in Unite calling me expletives and slurs? Other concern is like how fast and easy is it to form rooms with people that I want to talk to?
Yes.
And how, like, what's the gradient on that? Right? Like, do I have to be friends with them for it to be easy? Like, maybe I do somehow. I don't know. I've never been in this universe where like gamers meet each other in a video game and they become friends in the video game.
No, me neither. That's terrifying. I would never.
That's never happened to me ever.
But that's a good question because it's like, could I randomly match with somebody in Smash Brothers, go to my friends list, cite people you've played with, find that guy, call him up, and now be talking to another human being? Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
And can they just call me? Because I also don't want that. I also don't want them to just be able to call me. I like the other thing is like, I don't know. I wonder how well like the Discord like functions work, like the game sharing screen share, because game sharing is another thing.
Right, game sharing is another thing. Yeah,
that's another individual feature.
Sure, and so much online stuff. It's dependent on the game. It's dependent on the specifics of the netcode. But for this presentation with voice chat, I do think that maybe they bit off so much here with the camera and the putting yourself in the game and all this stuff. Where at the end of the day, what most people I think want is just the ability to talk,
to just have voice.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if all of this stuff, I'm like, is this all just going to be ignored? Am I at the end of the day, am I just going to talk to my friends the way I do on every other platform? What do I care to watch other people's gameplay?
I think it's a killer app situation.
Really?
I think it's depending on the game. If the game has good enough integration, then I could see people using it a lot. Like proximity chat in theory is really cool.
Sure.
But only certain games can really make it worth doing.
So you think there might be a Switch 2 game in the future that's like, hey, I know that you can see your screen and your friend's screen and maybe use that in a I think
there might be multiple.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I like that idea. But like I think as a basic thing, the fact that it is getting its own button on the controller, at least in my head, I'm like, all right, I feel like the voice chat will work. Yeah. Right, right. And that's good. That's a win. That's a win. We've been waiting for this. I wanna see my friend playing Smash Brothers, and I want to send him a little thing and go, we smash it. And now we're talking, we're playing, we're having. I do this on my PlayStation all of the time. I would love to do this on my Switch. So yeah, I'm positive on this, but man, that presentation, it was long and it did a lot.
It was very long.
It was long and it did a lot. Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah, tell me.
I think another reason why it's a 7 for me is because I don't use stuff like this.
Oh, you don't talk to people. You're not talking on your games.
I talk. If I'm talking to people, it's in Discord. I open up Discord for a few reasons. Because like I said, my limited experience with gamers that I don't know, not great. Like they say some terrible stuff on there.
Sure.
I don't want to deal with that. But also, as somebody that again we do this. This sounds way better. This mic sounds way better than any mic that they will ever have on any console ever. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be like, yo, just get on Discord, man.
I will say, AJ, I think I'm a little bit older than you. My friends are not on Discord. I don't What's Discord? I just turned 31.
I also am 31.
Oh, what is this?
I turned 31 at the end of December.
Wow, yeah. I can't believe this. Unbelievable. At the end of the day for me with the voice chat is that whenever I see like a co-op game, I know I want it on PlayStation 5 because I'll play it with one of my friends and I want to just have that in the console. We're party chatting, we're talking, we're playing online, whatever. And I think like if you can make the Nintendo Switch 2 somewhere where I can comfortably play a good version of Fortnite and party chat with my friends, I do think there's a degree to which that is invaluable. And thinking about Fortnite specifically, kind of cool if you could have your friend's screen right there while you're playing Fortnite. Kind of cool,
Yeah, because you can like help them. You don't gotta ask them where. That's something
kind of cool.
Bit of a tangent, but that's something like when I played through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I literally played the entire game in a Union Circle. Like every second of my playthrough for the DLC, even I played in Union Circles full of people. Like they're all full Union Circles.
Wow, wait, you can just like do stuff in the game in a Union Circle, like progress.
Yeah. So we would be in Union Circles and like somebody would be like one of my friends, she never played Pokemon before.
Okay.
And I forced her to play Pokemon. And I was like, you're gonna have fun because we're gonna do it together and it's gonna be fun because we're together and we're friends.
Man, that is cool. That's a fun experience. That's a fun way to play.
And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And so like because she's new, I'm like, all right, just tell me, like, point out if there's a Pokemon that you see in your Pokedex or you battle somebody, and I'll help you find it. So I would, like, literally walk her to the point where it's like, oh, I know where that Pokemon is. It's over here in this area. And I would walk with her to the Pokemon and be like, oh, yeah, this is the one. Maybe use this Pokemon and be like full Pokemon anime sort of situation of like, yo, we found the Totodile. Now we got to go catch it.
You're making me actually appreciate this feature more than I did. You're actually making my positivity go up because because what you can do here is essentially take any single player game and make it a multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
And man, that's so I'm thinking about like Pokemon Legends ZA comes out and like,
oh my God,
like me and my brother playing the game at the same time and just like seeing his, like, there is something to that. It is creating a little bit of a space. You're doing a little separate, but together. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
That actually, I see the vision now. That's actually really cool. Okay, great. The next part of this presentation, the next part of the presentation was talking about the console, talking about the screen, 120 frames per second, HDR. It's bigger than the other Switch.
LCD.
LCD.
Boo.
Which I don't feel that bad about. I have a PlayStation
No,
Portal.
I'm angry about it because the internet's angry about it.
Oh,
and
sure.
Being angry about the same things helps me financially.
I gotta say, surprised at the 1080p. Took me by surprise.
So I'm not surprised by that. I was a little surprised by the 120 frames per second. I will say that. I was a little surprised by that. I was like, oh, okay.
Dude, 120 on the handheld. I was like,
yeah. I was surprised. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bet.
Crazy. Yeah. I feel so overwhelmingly good about the stuff in this part of the presentation that I feel like I'm just glazing this company. They just kept hitting things and I was like, HD. Job, man. So many people are going to experience HDR for the first time on this thing, I think. Yeah. And like, that's awesome. I'll even say, I think they kind of sold me on the magnetic Joy-Con, which I didn't really care about before. And seeing it in this video, I was like, oh no, it actually, I think makes sense. I see it now. It just looks good. I believed in the graphics that they made. But I think what it is that when I think about the Nintendo Switch, wait, I'm so sorry. Your titillation score for the section.
Wait, which part? We got lost in the sauce.
No, yeah. So it's
over the game share.
They're talking about the screen. They're talking about the bigger,
like the hardware, the
bigger
hardware
buttons,
overview.
the stick.
8.5.
All right, I'm gonna say this is the first time that I was well over your score. When they said 120 frames. I literally went a lot, like I left my body for a second. I couldn't believe it because really I think such a large part of the story of the Nintendo Switch is that, man, Nintendo made some of the best games and some of their best franchises. They made
stuck on this.
There was just a little switchiness to all these games. Even the best ones, even Breath of the Wild had a little switchiness. Even, it's like you felt like there were some shackles and the games were so good that you let it go, but the shackles were there and damn, dude, like we'll get to it. But just to make my point, when they showed Zelda running on this thing with the Switch 2 edition, I went, oh shit. We have arrived. We are unshackled. Yeah. We are unshackled. And I feel like the Switch 2 is like the promise of the Switch is really being delivered in a way that feels unfettered by sacrifices. That was my read on this section. Man, they put that fan in the dock. They said, docked performance. Don't even worry, guys. That to me was a nod. I was like, man, that docked performance. Let's go.
So you say that is the one other thing that did surprise me. Not that there was a fan, I guess, like not that literally, but I was like, oh wait, maybe this thing's not underclocked. Maybe they don't underclock it this time because it has a fan.
I'm so curious about what specifically. I feel like we're gonna see some docked performances out of games that are gonna make us be like, oh shit, okay, all right, all right, cool. So the next part of the presentation was the game that everyone thought was a pack-in until it was revealed that it was not. The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Can I get a titillation score for Welcome Tour?
5.
Wow. That is how generous of you. How generous of you. 5. How do you get 5 out of this?
Because I like the weird little quirky stuff. I like I like that they're getting I was streaming this with my friend Colton. And he was saying, he was like, Nintendo, they do like this weird stuff. And I like how they like tell you about the console and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, they don't tell you about the console. You don't learn about this sort of thing. They don't talk about specs. So it's crazy that they have this where they're gamifying it, which is a very Nintendo way to do it. Yeah. But them getting down to the nitty gritty is like something that is at least a little interesting to me. I do want to know like how much they will like divulge. Okay. Like, are we going to have like a 120 frames per second demonstration mini game in this? Like,
that's funny. That's hilarious, actually. Yeah.
Is there going to be like a 4K resolution tech demo like that sort of stuff? I want to see how they're going to get into the nerdy tech spec stuff.
There's something funny about this in like an engineering sense of like teaching a child to be technically competent enough to appreciate the new system. I just can't believe
it's Labo. It's
I just can't believe they're slapping a price on it. I just can't believe it.
How much is it? I don't even know how much.
It's probably $10.
Do we think it's $10?
I think it's $10.
I think it might be. I could see it being more. I could see as much as like 30. See 30.
Oh no, I will overthrow the corporation if they're absolutely not. Oh my god! Welcome to the console pay up. Oh my god!
I mean, yeah.
Next portion of this presentation, I think, is more exciting. It's talking about the different game types. There are, of course, the Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, the Nintendo Switch 1 games, and then the Nintendo Switch 2 editions. We knew this was coming. I think it was given a much more prominent spot in this presentation than people were expecting. But Nintendo Switch 2 editions, where does this hit on your titillation meter?
9.
Yeah, to the top. Yeah, to the top. I agree. I'm right there with you.
It would be higher if I knew what the price was and the price was reasonable. But since I don't know what the price is, there's the possibility for the price not being reasonable. And when I say that, I specifically mean like the lower end of what a Nintendo Switch 2 edition game could in theory mean. You know, if it is like the PlayStation version, because like this is something that makes me so angry about PlayStation 5, is like them being like, hey, we updated this game to just do the bare minimum for the console that we sold you.
Right.
$20.
Right.
Whereas Xbox is like, we upgraded it. You own the game already. Just put the game in and it'll run, you know.
Now we did get confirmation after this presentation that there will be a collection of games, a bunch of games getting Switch 2 free patches.
Yeah.
And
like Scarlet
and Violet, which is hysterical. And you know, they'll have, and I think what this presentation was trying to do was it was trying to position Switch 2 editions of games as slightly more content involved than just getting a patch for performance. Every single game that has a Switch 2 edition has some kind, except for Pokemon Legends ZA, which I find suspicious, and I wonder if a Pokemon Presents is going to come in the next couple of months that maybe divulges some of this.
Nintendo, Game Freak, it's probably too late. The game's probably done or close to done. But if you want the game to sell on Switch 2 only, make multiplayer Nintendo Switch 2
oh my god, could you imagine? And it's funny, right? Because it's like the Switch 2 edition of the game, it could be as dumb as like when you're managing your box, you can use mouse mode to move the curve. You know, like it could be that dumb, but we don't really know. But I like, man, the performance and like the fidelity improvements alone, I think it took me by surprise how much the games really sang that had these improvements in a way that I didn't know it was going to be that kind of a jump. When I saw the smoothness in Zelda, when I saw the image quality of Metroid Prime 4, I was like, oh, I get it now. It really made an impression on me. I felt it. I was saying in my chat, I was like, damn, some of these feel like new games, especially Mario Party. I was like, this is a lot of content.
That's funny because I don't even remember what stream it was. I think it was in a Hidden Power podcast. I remember you being like, this game doesn't even look good for Metroid.
So Metroid I still think looks like a boring video game.
Okay. But I mean like visually, like you were talking about how it's like the game doesn't look impressive.
It doesn't. It's that.
It still doesn't to you? Like even on Switch 2?
I think I had forgot. I am so used to seeing the switchiness that I didn't realize how muddy that image quality was. And now that I'm seeing it clean at a high resolution, I'm like, okay, this is acceptable, but it's not. Okay. But it's not like,
because the way people talk about the Metroid, like Metroid Prime remastered, and this game now is like, this is the best looking game on the Switch.
I don't know where that opinion is coming from.
Yeah, I don't know where that opinion is coming from.
No, it looks good. It looks good.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm between you and them.
I will say, like, for me, it was the Zelda games because I'm so familiar with those. When those started running, literally 4 seconds of that game running, I went, oh shit. Like that felt new. So
Right.
it's like what the game was always supposed to be. So yeah, I'm really excited about these, and I think the games that are getting a lot of new content, dude, that Kirby game getting a whole new little campaign.
A new chapter.
That's crazy. That's like, wow, what a little
And Jamboree.
No,
They're like adding more game.
Jamboree was
game,
is like
dude.
this close to being a new Mario Party game. That was crazy how much they're putting in that.
Insane.
Yeah, these looked really good, and I think that like having a upgraded version of a game from the last generation is nothing new to us. But I think that they managed to make it more exciting than it is on other platforms in this presentation. We actually didn't even mention it, but Pokemon Legends ZA, I was like, the game has been changed.
I mentioned it a little bit. I said if they wanted it to sell more on Switch 2 by a lot, make it multiplayer. Because that's the one thing that I'm waiting on for it to be like best Pokemon game to ever exist ever.
Oh, I'm right there with you. But you and me we're the action. We're so pilled by the action combat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zelda, the Hyrule Warriors,
this one.
Age of Imprison, whatever that is. How'd this hit for you?
4. 3.
Tell me why.
I hate Warriors games. I think they're so boring.
Yeah. Okay. I like them when they're good. I will say, I think that this game will be better than this trailer. I thought this trailer sucked. It did not do a good job of it. Like assumed you already knew what the game was. So it was very weird. It was like, all right, here's Zelda.
What? 2. Yeah. 2. I feel betrayed by Age of Calamity. Because again, I came into this not liking Warriors games, and I saw Age of Calamity, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna tell you about the story between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom," and it like didn't do. It was like a Marvel What If kind of situation, and it was like What If in the way that I don't like What If, because like What If to me when they first announced it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be all these like anthologies and like this like legitimate What If things, and then they try to make it this interconnected plot that like has like MCU implications and stuff like that. And like that just like made it whack because it like tethered so much of what happened to that, so like it stopped a lot of the things that I thought were possible for individual episodes. And that's how I feel about Age of Calamity, where it's like, but they did the opposite, where they made it like non-canon. So the reason why I got it in the first place didn't happen, because none of it is like stuff that I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see this in Tears of the Kingdom when I'm playing this game
I see. So you're a woman scorned with Age of Calamity, and you're like, fool me once, me. Yeah, all right.
Yes, because that's their pitch now too. It's like, yo, learn the story.
It is.
You told me this last time, bro.
Oh my god. All right, give me your score for GameCube exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, the new online service being renamed Nintendo Classics, by the way.
8.
Wow, 8.
8.73.
Holy cow, you are into the GameCube. Was it the games? Was it just the concept of it?
It was the games. It was the games. It was the games, and I think the GameCube specifically, like I feel like the classic library feels like it has actual value in my head now.
Yeah, okay.
Because this is a little bit of a tangent, but I'm doing a revisiting series of every Pokemon game.
Right.
And in my head, when I started this, I'm like, Gen 5 is when the game becomes like a worthwhile game.
That's
like
hysterical.
all of the other ones are like, this is wrong with it. This is bugged. This doesn't work right. They did this dumb decision that they didn't fix yet. But Gen 5 is like, oh, okay. So this is like what it should have been the whole time.
Wow.
That's how I feel about GameCube. It's like every generation before that. Well, the SNES is an exception. But every generation before that, it's like, I will turn it on for the novelty. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this game when I was 8. But as an adult, I don't want to play this. But the GameCube games, I think that there's a decent amount of them that like I would just genuinely be like, yeah, let's play Soul Calibur 2. I'm down to play F-Zero GX. Let's go.
That generation, the GameCube PS2, I think is these are modern games. I know that they're old. But they are in the modern ethos of game design. Whereas games from before that are like undeniably,
they're like still learning how to make video games.
Yeah, they're retro games. Yeah, I agree. I see what you mean about that. Yeah, this particular selection of GameCube games, I really like Soul Calibur, but I wasn't like, my chat was telling me that the 3 games that got trailers, Soul Calibur, Wind Waker, and F-Zero, that's going to be all that's there on launch. I don't know if that's true, but that like makes me sad.
You don't like any of them?
I'm a little, no, I do. I've never played Wind Waker, so that'll be new to me.
Play Wind Waker.
We'll see.
That was like, I don't know if this is going to be a hot take for you or not.
Okay.
But Wind Waker was the only 3D Zelda game that I liked at all.
Oh, okay.
Until Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, cool.
I think every other 3D Zelda game sucks.
Yeah.
Zelda's
boring.
And what I'll say is, I'm not even entirely sure Wind Waker's good. So I kind of want to play through that again and say, is Wind Waker like, is it actually good, or is that just me being 12 and stupid?
My chat tells me all the time. They tell me all the time I got to play Wind Waker. Obviously, I'm into those dumb Pokemon spin-off games being there. I'll give those a shot. The good Mario Strikers game. Let's go. Happy to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited for good Mario sports games.
Yeah,
because Switch. Oh my God, bro! If there's anything Switch got wrong, it was Mario Sports.
Wait a second, I didn't even think about this. Mario Baseball could come to this.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
The dream could be realized. The prodigal son could return.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I think for me, there was a degree to which with some of these GameCube games where they were looking a little crusty, and I was hoping that like the coming to Switch, it was
Dolphin. They just ported Dolphin.
Something, yeah, a little bit. I was like, maybe they got some extra juice in there, but I'm not negative about it. I was like happy to see it, but it didn't. I don't know. I felt like it was missing something. I was like an extra feature or something.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm off base here, but I think it might be a similar thing to like how people felt about the N64 NSO, where it's like the N64 and it's in some games valid, but for the most part these games don't look great. They look way better on N64, and then you play it on N64 and you're like, oh no, this game just look bad.
No, the N64, the improvements to the N64 games on NSO are insane, actually. So maybe you're right. And
so
plus,
I could see it being that sort of situation.
And plus, having these handheld is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm excited.
All right. We move on from there. We go back to third-party games. This culminates in the new game from FromSoftware, The Duskbloods. It is a multiplayer-focused game described as a PvPvE game. Big multiplayer exclusive game directed by Miyazaki. Coming to Switch 2.
We got Nintendo Bloodborne.
Yeah, Nintendo Bloodborne. What is the score for you? Are you? I don't even know. Yeah, does this do anything for you?
It's a 9.82.
Oh, this does a lot for you. This is big.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not the thing is like, okay. So I'm not a Souls guy, but I'm not a Souls guy.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Where it's like the core, like the core like concept of the game and like the type of person that you would think would like a game like that on a gameplay level is me 100%. I want to be like, oh man, I lost in that game and I lost because I'm bad and I want to get better.
Right.
That's me. But I don't like the theming. The theming usually throws me off. But sometimes the gameplay is good enough where I don't care. Like Bloodborne. Inject Bloodborne into my veins. I love Bloodborne.
Cool.
Regular Dark Souls, nah. Elden Ring,
Yeah.
But
I was kind of the opposite. The first one I really fell in love with was Elden Ring. And this is one of those games where it's like, we'll see. Maybe I'll get super into it. Maybe I won't give it a second thought. I need the people to tell me, and then we'll see.
So the reason why I'm on board with this is like, so for Bloodborne, the reason why I was on board for that is because it fits my sensibilities, is in the sense that like a lot of earlier Souls games, I feel, and maybe Souls fans, the diehards will correct me on this, but I feel like they were a lot more defensive. And Bloodborne rewarded you for being super aggressive, where it's like, oh no, I'm getting that health back. I don't care that you just hit me, I'm getting it back. I'm gonna hit you immediately and I'm getting my health. But with this game, the thing that has me on board is the multiplayer. I will play most things multiplayer.
Oh, I
most
see.
games,
Yeah.
even if I don't like the game, I'm so down for it multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a social gamer. I love playing games with people.
Right. And the fact that that's the core of the game, that's a focus of the game, is like, okay, I know I can go in, play multiplayer. That's huge. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. And it's cool to see like that the Nintendo exclusive FromSoft game has a multiplayer focus. Like, what a swing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
cool.
and I was also going to say, this is a point I bring up in my video, where it's like, I feel like we missed out on the, or not missed out, because it still kind of happens, but I feel like it's happening less and less now. Nintendo fans missed out on the era of like the Sunset Overdrives, the Bloodborns, with the exception of like Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Like, every other console would get like this cool version of this like studio that's known for this particular kind of game that is only for their platform. And Nintendo never really got that. You know, it never got like it's Spider-Man PS4, you know, like that kind of situation. So it's kind of cool to see Nintendo Switch 2 getting that with a Souls game.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. But then we move on to what you said was the highlight of this presentation for you. Kirby Air Riders from Masahiro Sakurai. Kirby Air Ride, a game I've famously referred to on my stream as stinky garbage.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So do you just love that original game?
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think a lot of the design language of it feels very Smash Brothers.
It does.
It's kind of like all that DNA of like Smash Brothers and Kid Icarus Uprising and like that kind of thing. Like, you can feel that in Kirby Air Ride. And I think I'll say I think that in hindsight, it doesn't control as well as I would like it to, because it's an old game ultimately.
Sure.
But this is not an old game. So I can see it just being like a further evolution of like that same DNA. I love Smash Brothers.
Does it hit you funny at all that there were 3 Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games in this presentation that were first party, being Mario Kart, the Donkey Kong game we're going to talk about in a minute, and 2 of these games are like kart racers?
I didn't think about that at all.
That's what surprised me. When I was watching this, I was like, guys, it can't be Kirby Air Ride, because what are we doing?
Because we already got one.
What are we doing on this platform? And I think this game's going to come out sooner rather than later. I think that we'll get games coming out later in later presentations. So I guess I'm just wondering what Sakurai must be cooking over there. He must be cooking.
I'll say the reason why that didn't hit me in that same way is I don't even look at Kirby Air Ride like
I know it's different
because I don't play that mode. I just play the City Trials,
which is what the people love.
That's where it's at.
That's what people love.
That's where it's at.
So we'll see. I think that the City Trial idea, I would like to see. I want to see more. I hope he's got something that pulls me in, that makes me see what the hook is, and I want to I guess I don't know what I want from this, and I want Sakurai to tell me. That's what I hope. Next time we see this.
I think he's going to tell you.
All right. I hope so. I hope it's fun.
I think he's going to tell you. I'm very anti-auteur. I hate the worshiping that people do for Sakurai, but I will say that brother knows how to make a game.
If he's making this,
know how to make
if he chose, he must have something. He must.
Yeah, he has a pitch. That's the way he described it on his YouTube channel. Content creator Sakurai said, I pitched this game. I've been working on this game for at least the last, he said 2 years?
Yeah.
So,
All right. Okay. And then we come to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Donkey Kong Bonanza, to me, an extremely reminiscent of Super Mario Odyssey Donkey Kong game. Just feels similar in a lot of ways. What did this do for you? What did this score?
A 9. 9.1.
Okay, excited. Yeah. What about it? Yeah, what about it?
So on one end, this is something I've been begging for. Again, Mario Kart levels of begging for this.
Yeah. Okay.
I just was so I like these games a lot. They're great. I love Donkey Kong Country Returns. I love Tropical Freeze, but I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
I want something different, bro. I need something fresh for Donkey Kong. So I've been wanting them to do 3D Donkey Kong because it's like, okay, you tried this before, it didn't work, but that was like 20 years ago, bro. You could do it again, man. Try it again.
That's funny, man. I got to because I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I don't really care for those 2D Donkey Kong games. They don't light a fire in me. And then I see this and I go, now you're talking. Now, because to me, it's like Mario Odyssey. The best thing about
so
that
we
game,
end on the same point.
Yeah,
we're both there where we're excited for it, but you start disappointed by the 2D. I'm just tired of it. I like it, but I just don't need any more.
My one criticism of this trailer is that I think DK might be being a little too cute, a little too much winking at the camera, a little too. Oh, you like my new art design, my design? You like my new design? And I'm like, okay, all right, DK. But
okay, so you think it's Japanese Crash Bandicoot? You want American Crash Bandicoot?
That's right. My ideal Donkey Kong game. It opens with him like he's chained to like one of those like lab tables. And he like breaks out of a lab. He's like smashing scientists' heads together. He like comes
you would think
out
it was something like, because like it literally opens with him punching a hole in the screen.
I know. That's why when it happened, I was like, shit, I designed this. But it was so stupid. But my favorite thing about Super Mario Odyssey is like that movement kit that Mario has. How you can get good at it. You can get like, oh, I'm gonna be really good at traverse. And then in this game, it's like they really leaned into that. The rolling, the bouncing, the climbing, the sense of momentum and high speed movement. I was like, damn, this is a game that you're gonna pick up and you're gonna be like, oh, I got to get used to this really quick. And then you're going to get good at it. Then you're going to start thinking creatively with it. And that's before you even go into the being able to destroy anything in the environment and use it in all these fun, creative ways. And, second Mario Odyssey trailer is the one where we learned about the capture mechanic. Makes you wonder what else.
It's Diddy Kong.
It makes you wonder, what is that little rock guy going to do? The one that's on, is he just hanging out there? Or is it kind of like a Banjo-Kazooie situation? Is he going to use that guy to do stuff? So, yeah, man, it's like, this game to me was like such a big swing. And I think that they nailed it. I think like after seeing Astrobot get so much love last year and kind of felt that Astrobot was a little basic at the end of the day. To see a 3D platformer to me, that's like, look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Yeah. You can't, I was like, because that's like, how you do it.
Ultimately, and I mean this in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Astro Bot's just a really good Mario game.
He's right.
Donkey Kong Bonanza looks like something that we haven't gotten before.
Man.
And that's exciting. So I'll say, quick tangent, even though like this is like 70% meme, it's Incredible Hulk. It's an Incredible Hulk game.
I did not put that together. I had a lot of people in my chat say Wreck-It Ralph. But that's I know.
I think it's Incredible Hulk. It's Incredible Hulk. Man, the chat's wrong. It's Incredible.
Get them on that Hulk game. That's a good idea.
Yeah, Marvel's stealing it. Or you know what? That's the Spider-Man PS4 for Nintendo Switch 2.
That's not bad. Hulk. That's not bad. See, that's good. We gotta tell them about this.
Yeah.
So presentation wraps up. We find out later via online news sources about the price. And all of these various price things that I gotta say, still hours after the presentation, still not 100% clear on some of this stuff.
Okay.
And it sounds like we're looking at $70 or $80 games, depending on the situation, and a $450 console or a $500 console with Mario Kart bundled in.
Which is an $80 game.
Which I'm shocked they're giving you that much in savings on that bundle. Shocked.
Same.
They never do
that. I think a lot of people were talking about where it was like, I think even you were like, there's no way we get a Mario Kart bundle that soon. And I was like, I think we can get it, but I think it's going to just be market value. Like, it's going to be a $600 console or something.
Yeah, of course.
But the fact that you get $30 off,
I know that's significant. Crazy. That's significant.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know if I've seen a Nintendo Switch 1 console where you get $30 off of Mario Kart.
and I will say, I do think I've been getting the impression from Nintendo lately that, man, they want you to buy digitally. Damn, they are like, they're like really trying to get people into digital. So kind of makes sense there. But I think that maybe the biggest talking point after this presentation was concerning the price. And I do think that part of that is on Nintendo for not controlling the messaging. But
Right.
I think part of that too is that the Nintendo audience specifically is shocked. This is a big jump and it's happening all at once to them. Where do you land on how alarmist are you right now about the price?
I expect two.
Yeah.
I need everybody to go watch my Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
The initial reveal reaction video, because the tariffs, I don't know how much you want to get into that specifically. Mm-hmm. But I was like, yeah, this thing's going to be bare minimum $400. No way.
There was no way it was going to be less than that. Yeah.
There's no way. And I was like, I could even see a world where, pending how crazy the tariffs are and if they actually have a good solution for it and stuff, I could see a world where it goes as high as 600. I'm glad we didn't get there. But I'm not surprised by that. Something that does surprise me about the pricing, though, is that they're kind of going back to like N64 era.
Yeah,
where it's just
are.
like, yo, the game costs what it costs, man.
So,
like,
we're not this, I think, is I think this is the important distinction, because I think that the console price, I hear $450 and I go, based on what I saw, makes sense. I don't blink at that. The game prices, $70 for their first party games. I hear that and I go, you know what? We've had it too good for too long. I get that. But then Mario Kart rolls around the corner for $80. And that is the only thing that makes me go, what's going on here? That's the only one.
But that's the thing, though. I think the next Nintendo EPD Zelda game is $100.
Okay, that's just the direction we're going.
Yeah,
everything is getting more expensive. That tracks with every other sector in the world. Why wouldn't it?
So I don't even necessarily think that that's what it is necessarily.
You think that they're on their end, they're just going, this is worth $100.
Yes, I think they're saying this is worth $100.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're saying, and I think that it's like the similar thing for like what I was saying about the N64 thing. Like, I think if they're like, everything's more expensive now, they roll out like they did with the Wii U, and they're like, games are $59.99 now. You know, right. I think that's what they do. But now they didn't do that. They didn't mention price. They didn't say our standard price for this is this. Right. There's just various games with various prices, and that's what it is. I think we'll still get $60 games. I think there will be $70 games. I think we'll have $80 games, and I think the really, really big things are going to be more than that.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but
yeah, I think there's still a balance you have to find with their particular market. I don't personally, I have a hard time seeing the $100 game from them right now, but who knows what things will look like in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, when this console is going to be with us for a long time. Is a $100 game out of the question over the course of the next 10 years? Of course not. That being said, and maybe I'm gonna get some people calling me a shill in the comments for this. Man, I feel like you get a lot of value in your video games. I hate to say it. It's hard. I get so much enjoyment out of these games that honestly, it's really hard for me to sit online and complain about the price, because I feel like I get every dollar worth. So
I think it's just another one of those things where I think a lot of gamer complaints are owed to the fact that they are gamer TM. So it's like that's your primary source of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's like that's how you learn about storytelling and how you learn about how much like value you should get from entertainment. It's like, oh, okay, I spent $60 from this and I spent 200 hours playing it, so that's how much it costs.
Sure.
But if you zoom out even a little bit, it's like, okay, how much is going to see a movie? You know, this 2-hour long
how
movie?
much is going out to dinner?
How much is going to see a concert? You know, how much is going to dinner? How much is an amusement park? How much is going on a cruise?
How much is rent?
How much is taking a flight? You know, like that kind of stuff, right? There's so many things that, like, if that's how we break it down, if it's like $1 per hour for entertainment, video games, you get an insane value. With $1 per hour. So like even them going up to that, like crazy, like for like theoretical Nintendo EPD like next level of the Breath of the Wild lineage of Zelda game. Like it's 4K, 120 frames per second or whatever, right? And it's bigger.
Yeah.
Like that game's $100. I'm sorry. That game's $100.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. I know what you're saying. And it is this thing where I do think at the beginning of a console launch, you know, being an early adopter of anything hurts. It stings.
Yeah.
And I think like it's never going to hurt more than day one. Once you're in, you're in. Once you've got the $500 system, it's a lot easier a year later to pick up that $70 game. It's, you know, so I know it's gonna hurt. I understand people whine. The people I feel the most for are like the kids, because honestly, man, it's like there's gonna be a kid who it just became that much harder to convince your parent to get you that game, and I feel for that person. So we'll have to see if Nintendo decides to adopt anything that we didn't particularly see. You know, during the Switch era, they did have that that gold coins thing, and they had the buying the vouchers, and I do
the fact that they took them away, I was like, oh.
And I wonder if they're.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I was surprised by them taking away the gold points though.
I know
them taking away the gold points was shocking.
Yeah,
like I was like, what?
Yeah,
because that was like something that we like. That cross generations. That started on like 3DS.
Yep.
So like them taking that away, it was crazy to me.
I agree.
Because it stayed for as long as it did. Them taking the vouchers away, I was like, okay, yeah, I expected this, but still, like both them taking both is. Man,
yeah, because if you could spend a voucher on an $80 game, that's highway robbery. So so I get it, but I do wonder, especially with this kind of push happening towards digital, and I do think that there will be an all digital edition of the Switch at some point. I do wonder if they will do anything to kind of levy that cost a little bit, to try to take a little bit of that, just some kind of
I don't know, maybe. And I think that this is more like we didn't talk about it, but I think this is probably more like a Nintendo Switch edition and like third-party developers path. Yeah. But those carts that don't have the game installed on them, like, is that a way for games to be cheaper? Like, is there like the first run of Nintendo Switch 2 games from everybody is like game on cart, but the second run, it's, you know, $60, the standard price, and it's digital, but it's the cart, you know, like that the like fake cart. I don't even know what they're calling it.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what they do for sure. It feels like, you know, even introducing the idea of the virtual cartridge that you can eject and put into other consoles. Yeah. It's like, that feels like you're pointing towards something that could happen. Yeah, our language towards this stuff is changing. I think that's
also like it feels like they're getting it off the strength. They're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll let you be more feasible with your games. There's game share. You play it with your friends on Discord, but the game is $20 more. Now what?
You're right. There is this idea that there is just inherently more value in the games because of all the stuff that they're doing around it too. Yeah. So it's an interesting idea. I'm definitely curious to see what their messaging is as time goes on. And I think I gotta say, even having a bundle at launch that saves you $30 on a game by getting it bundled, that's already there. That's something that they wouldn't have necessarily done before. So you gotta wonder
I think we don't even gotta put that adjective on. Like they would not have done it. Full stop.
Sure.
They still have not done it. It's still rare to see a Nintendo Switch bundle that has savings. Yeah, that's wild.
Right, wild. Yeah, wild. So I think that's at least an indication that there will be options for people to kind of help in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, at the end of the day, I do think that maybe this is just a growing pain that has more to do with context than it has to do with than anything else.
I think it's a cocktail of things that just make games more expensive. I think it's the tariffs, it's general inflation, it's the yen being terrible.
The games are more expensive to make.
Games being more complex, games being more expensive to make, them being 4K. Yeah. 60 frames and up. All that stuff costs money, man.
Yeah. But I think both of us, my enthusiasm for this console is so high because genuinely, I feel like we have so much more juice left in the tank. There are still mysteries about games that are going to come out this year. And because of the performance capability that we saw of this console, I feel like the things that we're going to see are going to consistently be like, I feel like we're just doing the Switch victory lap where it's like Zelda comes out, it's the best Zelda game. Mario Kart comes out, it's the best Mario. Like Mario, okay, now Mario Kart World, no doubt in my mind, this will be the best Mario Kart game.
Best Mario Kart.
Yeah, and it's is this what we're doing now on Switch 2? These franchises are going to show up and we're just going to, dude.
Yeah.
God damn, hard to be down when that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
They made a good console.
They made a good console. AJ, final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 April 2nd Direct.
Best Direct that they've ever done, full stop.
Hot damn.
I think that Nintendo Switch is the best console of all time, and I think Nintendo Switch 2 has strong potential to dethrone it, and I don't think it's going to take that long.
Yeah, this is the first time before a system has come out that I have felt like, I feel like I'm witnessing the best console ever about to come out. Like this is the only time I've ever like had that thought. I've never like when I went to go pick up my PlayStation 5, I wasn't like, this is gonna
I'm doing this again, but
I was like, it's the new one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This to me, I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. We're hitting. God bless.
It's funny because like I'm super positive about this thing, but like going into it, like before we knew anything about it, like everybody talking about it and like from jump being like Nintendo Switch 2, it took me seeing Nintendo say this is called Nintendo Switch 2 to call it Nintendo Switch 2.
That's funny.
Without any quotation marks or anything like that.
Right.
Because to me it's like the idea of Nintendo Switch 2 in theory felt like that. It felt like it was PlayStation 5. And that was the last thing I wanted. I like when Nintendo does weird stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Know?
Yeah.
I like when I don't expect like the Joy-Con. I would have never guessed that ever.
Right.
Like, and I want things that I would never guess.
Right. And I think to just kind of put a bow on this, I think something I realized watching this is that there is a degree to which a lot of elements of other consoles that we've come to expect on a Nintendo platform feel a little weird and a little unexpected. Having voice chat and sharing the videos and having 4K and having 120 frames per second. These are things that when you combine them with Nintendo games, it's like, oh, you show me a 4K game on PlayStation, I don't blink. You show me a 4K Mario Kart game, I go, hold the phone. This is different. Because
the thing about it is, like, Nintendo's going to use every part of the animal.
Yeah.
Like, if it's 4K, they're making a game that's like, this is why this game is 4K.
Yeah.
It's not like, yo, it's prettier. It's like, it's 4K. It's like with GameCube. It's like, yo, we have more pixels, so we made Pikmin.
Yeah,
that's the magic of it. It's not like, oh, Thing Japan. That's not what it is. It's because Nintendo uses the tech to make new things. They're not using the tech to sell their new thing.
It's meaningful. Whereas on other platforms, it's because it's there. It's because it's It's for no reason other than it existing.
It's like the most ironic thing because like the literal definition of a gimmick is like this is what we're using to sell our thing.
Right.
But when Nintendo uses a gimmick, like the thing that they're selling you wouldn't have existed without the gimmick. Like that's why the game they made is what they made. Wii Sports exists because the Wii is what the Wii is.
Right.
You know? And I think that's the most exciting thing about this console.
Damn. Oh my God.
I'm excited for all the games that will exist because the Switch 2 is what the Switch 2 is.
I'm gonna steal from you. I'm just letting you know right now. Every part of the animal. Every part of the animal describing the Nintendo is so funny. I am dying. AJ, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me about the Switch 2 presentation. I wanted to be a good YouTuber. Wanted to do the post direct, for the history books, so we can come back. We can say this is how we felt. So of course your channel's information is in the description below. Thank you everybody for watching, making it to the end of the video. Stay tuned because AJ and I are gonna have another video in the near future talking about Nintendo Switch 2 editions, baby. All right.
I'm gonna say it. I want to make a lot of videos with you.
Let's do it. Sign me up. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye.